She can cook a healthy food, she can sell it to others, she can package, then we teach her how to package. Okay, so this comes the third thing. Is this empowerment or development so far? It is collection of empowerment that's gonna create, now we're gonna see development. Development is what? The change that you will do. If you collect ladies like this, 40 people, let's imagine what we did in that village called Dar Bayda, by the way. Dar Bayda is capital of Morocco, but also it is a village in Nouakchott, in Mauritania. Okay. After they've been taught how to read and write minimum, how to calculate, how to sell, also we teach them the minimal thing about their religion. So in Mauritania, religion values, not religion itself, religion values, how to take care of the family, how to make sure that everybody prays, because so that we prevent drugs, because it's usually in these areas, and that area especially, the ministers, when I used to talk to them and present to them after I left, we were working there, but we wanted to give it to the government as a responsibility. And we can't do, we can't do one model, we can't do models all over the country, unless we have presence there. In Rwanda, we are lucky now we have presence here. We have an institute. These people, they will be the guys who will follow up after we go here, from here. And they're going to create the models and so on. Well, I was telling the ministers, I stayed there till 9 o'clock. He said, we are afraid. People, police cannot enter. How come you are safe there? I said, I never had any problem. Nobody even dared to steal anything from me, because these people, they know, now we came there, they are protecting us. Actually, I will give you maybe a video, inshallah, maybe if we have time, if you are registered, I'll give you a video. And some of them, they are rappers. You know rap? Rap, you know the rap songs? Yes, okay. So they, of course, the rap people, usually they have this thing, graffiti, rap songs is very popular. But these rappers now, they became one of the popular, and they always make songs relevant to their community or the poverty they came from. So even this one, see, the mindset started to change. The skill is there, but it was reshaped and modified. People, after they get trained, they will create a co-op for them. The co-op is made from sometimes 80 women. Okay? These women, they start with small things. We'll see some pictures later. Okay? Small things, maybe tailoring, maybe washing services, maybe selling small products, okay? Maybe doing carpets, okay? Weaving carpets and so on. But now what is the status you're going to put them, how you're going to put them next in another place, or package their product? This is what makes a difference also in creating a change in the community. So what I wanted to say here is that there should be effective learning scheme. If we want to raise the capacity of women, and learning does not stop. For that, in our modules, in our master program, PhD program, we have about lifelong learning. Okay, we hear about it, right? We practice it every day. Then what you are doing is lifelong long learning. Supposed to be if you go after that and you go and start practicing. Because if you don't practicing, it's a waste for your time and our time. Okay, whatever you learn today, sometimes it can be a blockage for future learning. Why? Because you think you know and you don't know how much you don't know. Okay, that's most dangerous. Many people say, oh yes, I have heard about this workshop before. I have attended like the similar workshop before. Okay? Because they don't practice, they think they know. For that, it is like a cycle. The more we build the capacity in our communities, and through leaders like you, especially young leaders like you, and it is based on capacity versus demand, we can move women from being powered, okay, to women to be developing their community, to women that is doing the advancement of their community. And this, I give an example of projects. There is no time to go through them, but I will show you some photos. It's all come to this three part of the formula. This is a formula called overall inspiration effectiveness. This is our formula, by the way. We say if you want to inspire community, and the woman can lead towards development, so that you can leave the seeds for development, and so you become a woman developer. Okay, it requires these three: availability, high availability. You can't start a project just giving people a service, okay, and going. Okay, you start a project, you have to follow up. It is not about quantity, it's about quality. Less amount of people, small village, maybe a road in South Sudan, in a certain area, better than to take a whole city. Okay? And to just train every day, do training, without doing a model. Without making people learn by doing, not learn by listening. Nobody change by listening. Okay? Even education, there is lots of debate about whether education can change people. As I told you, you might have someone, he talks about, and before I teach in my university, I'm the leader for change management in my university. But before me, there was doctors who talk about change management. So some of the students who attended for them, attended for me after, they took the class again just to hear, they heard about me. They told me, doctor, it's totally different. There, that guy, he's very organized. He gave us case studies from Harvard, and we talk about Harvard, but never affected us. It never affected us. He's better than me in presenting the case studies. Okay? I talk about my own case studies. I talk about what I have done in life, and what I wish they do in life, and then I challenge them that they have to do it while they are in class. Otherwise, they will not be a student, they'll be a D student. So this is the change, this is a challenge. And people, you know, if they don't have this availability, and you follow them up, people tend to go to the no, because of their life, because of their challenges, and so availability means that you start a project, you follow it up, and you use the amount of dissatisfaction about people's situation. Because one of the most important things for formula of change is that people be dissatisfied. Okay? This the lady that was interviewed by Dr. Emmanuel, she was dissatisfied. Okay? After she was given an intervention, certain intervention, she became satisfied. By what? By listening, by telling her, oh, you are very good, you guys, you are very good, and so on. Okay? Or giving her, the skill of, you said poetry, right? This is what made people feel that they are doing something. So availability, then effectiveness. What I want to leave? What type of effectiveness I want to leave through this women development program? Okay? But the most important thing is that I do it with the most efficient way. Means less amount of my materialistic resources, money, more of other resources that I'm going to talk about. Okay? So what are the resources I talked about already? I want to see whether you are wake up or not. What is I told you more important than the money?
Knowledge.
No?
Skills.
No? I didn't talk about this yet. No. The most important thing I told you, that he was emphasizing on it, social asset. Right? This is one of the most important for getting social asset. The more you network with people, or you know your social status, or your social, the social contacts within your community, the more you can change and bring a good idea or innovative idea to your community. Well, I'll take you just through one. I had to cancel a lot of them, and I'll cancel also some of the slides here, but I'll just take it through one. You can imagine, as I told you, you are a Mauritanian. You don't have access to water, no greenery, poverty is to the minimal. Okay, for that I was telling Dr. I thought in sub-Saharan is much more than even Rwanda. Okay, we are talking there about, I think the average is $300 per year. Okay, so survival is very difficult. Okay, so most of the NGOs there, what they do, they empower women through low wages or through co-ops, minimal co-ops. Okay, and they don't relate it to their family changes or their village change. Okay, this is the most dangerous empowerment. You give, it's like an open hose, water is going. We don't know what is the outcome. If we empower people and you don't know whether this affected their life, changed their mindset, changed their family, or changed their village, then you are wasting your time. Okay, so this is very important. Second thing, before our labs, we call it labs, by the way, Inspiration Economy Labs. Before our lab stay for 5 months, 6 months. There are lots of enablement projects that give lots of donation or low interest loans. They give loans but low interest. And this is what I'm explaining to you exactly what is happening even in Rwanda. This is called capital-based economy approach. Most of the NGOs, they go now, they wait, if they are not international NGO, what they do? They ask for submit for a loan, right? To get money. When they get money, the international NGO, they tell them, I want you to do this 1, 2, 3, 4. They go and do that, right? They don't have something within from themselves to the community. No. Someone is coming from outside, he or she, they are telling them what to do and so on. Then services to help women or empower them to produce better. And this is maybe the best. And usually you don't see this level. I'm talking most of the levels of the NGOs that is supporting women, they are in this level or second level. Okay? What we do in our labs, we call it inspiration labs. Okay, number one is that we enhance our availability. With little amount of money, we'll talk about $300, $500 maximum. Sometimes we go to this is what we tried in Qatari with brother Isa, is that we go for $500, for example. We test here. 500 is good, more, less, and so on. Okay. The availability of Isa and his team, okay, was more important, much more valuable than the $500. Available every day. For that, they managed to have 5 co-ops. In average, some co-ops they have more than 70. Am I right, Isa?
Yes, you are right.
Yeah. Okay. And this is where they started to create. Now, maybe they did not continue. There is no sustainability little bit here in certain co-ops. But what is the success story? Is that it started to bring other people without money creating their own co-ops. Learning from these guys, because what is $300? If there are many people, they can collect $300. Okay? What is happening, the people started to imitate them, to want to do like them, because, and Ali, by the way, is there also, yeah, with one of the co-ops and so on. So here, what I said here, the availability of capacity development is very important, because this is what shifts women from dependent status to independent status. Once a woman goes back, you can imagine a woman in Mauritania, Qatari, or anywhere, she go back to her family, she say, now I am participating with you, my husband, or with the government, whoever, to put more meal in my table. Okay? When we go to these people, by the way, most of them, they don't even attend. Tent will be more respected thing compared to it. It's like a palace for them if they get a tent. Most people, they will have maybe something just to cover their head, made from tins, or maybe from something with some broken wood here and there. Okay, go to that place now today, and this is not good. I'm not happy about that, but this is one of the high. Everybody, they want to start first to feel security. One part of the security, like Maslow concept. They will start building. They will build blocks and so on. This co-ops, what is the good thing about co-op? And everybody, you're gonna see your friends. Oh, they started to build, so I can build. Their children, they start to go to school, so I need now to go to school. And one of the good things about women development programs is that even if you don't have money, you can have the capacity to do a competition, to bring people to some of your children to school. Once this cycle starts, it starts to change the whole community and so on. So availability of resources to discover and share knowledge became much more. Even in a desert place, you can make still business, still you can make success stories, and you can increase your beneficiaries, okay, and you can increase your profit margin. And the most problem thing of the poor, I was telling Dr. Emmanuel, he told you about the story of the lady who sold him this $2, what, right? What is the problem of the poor? The same boat, if it is more package, maybe some drawings on it, written visit Rwanda, or something about Rwanda, or maybe I write your name on it, it will be moved from $2 to $10, even $20. If I sell it in that village, I sell it maybe $5, $10. But imagine I sell it in Radisson Convention Center.
$50.
My profit margin is just changing the mindset. Where I capitalize, where these people nobody told them this. Just telling these ideas, these basic ideas, these guys, they managed to bring things out of poverty and they provide eco-tourism. Because they support the country also. When you have local people, they don't get to buy, TVs or something from Rwanda. Okay, it's already high tax. Okay, but they will buy from you something relevant to Rwanda, right? And this is where it's very important that we think in different way. This is the status of these people when we visited them. You can see the picture. Okay. So you can see, even barely, okay, they don't have even a proper roof in there. It's made from collection of wood, collection of broken tins or something like this, you know. And this is the way they live in. When they start to do the co-op, as I told you, after our training, she could handle now to write down how much she is earning. Okay, and when we go to we do for them audit, monthly audit. It's not a joke. Where is the money gone? Because you know one of the most problem things with the poor is what happened to them. And then they want fast money. They might take it and spend it instead of putting it back into their co-op, right? So this is where here you need to train them. They look for long term. Okay. They can be diversification, like Dr. Was saying, Dr. Emmanuel. They are diversifying. They are not only selling camel wools, carpets. They are not selling only tents. They are not selling only. They are not making also, you know, what is it? Event management for marriage or something like this. But also they start to sell also fruits and so on in the different places and so on. Because the co-op is a multi-skilled. Because there are some of women have different skills. Some of them know how to do pottery. Some of them how to do a small agriculture, some of them how to do, you know, tailoring and so on. We had this multi-skill. The same co-op, they started now to produce soap. Okay, and the soap is highly needed in such area because they can't afford to buy the soap that is available in the supermarket. Okay, this is their product now become branded, packaged anyway. There are many photos like this, by the way, just for the sake of time. And some of them they are working, they are selling supermarket. They became supermarket. Available everywhere. Even they gone beyond their village. Okay? And this is what made this village to become out of poverty in a short time. In 3 years, they became out of poverty. Another small story from Mauritania, which is again the technique. This is the same group in that village, but different technique. I was invited by a factory owner, which is, by the way, it's a woman, businesswoman around in Mauritania. Okay, this businesswoman, they bought this factory from the government. And you know, Africa, most of Africa, unfortunately, is corruption. And Rwanda, you are one of the least. You are not compared to any country. You don't have that corruption that's clear. But anyway, this woman had many similar. I call her Mama Amina. Mama means mother. Okay, I think Risala, she knows his mom. Okay. So Mother Amina is a good example for many others. There are many like her, but I'll just focus on one story of her. Okay. Now we can imagine this lady, she's a grandmother. She comes with, now they claim of this businesswoman, and they are empowering these women. Why? Because without them, they will not have a job. Okay, so what is they are? They are mostly all women. They are working on weaving. But are they really even empowering women? Because empowerment of women supposed not to, again, create a negative impact in my life. Am I right? Am I right or wrong? If you do empowerment for me, and I leave my country, or leave my village, or leave my family, okay? I don't sit with my family. What would happen to the family? If I'm the mother or grandmother, there will be a shaken family stability, right? So one of the things about Mama, she stays for 3 weeks per month in the hostel of the factory, and then 1 week she goes back to the village. Number one, and you see this by the way a lot in Africa, or even in India or some poor countries. Number two, this is a very high caliber lady who knows how to do the camel wool. And camel wool is one of the difficult wool, by the way. It's very hard, and she knows the quality of the hadith. What is the problem with Mama Amina? If she dies, there are no other Mama Aminas. The next generation, they don't know this skill. Okay? So this is again dangerous for the country, for the eco-tourism and so on. The third thing that very important is that Mama Amina is punished by the factory when she do mistakes in doing the carpets. So when you do weaving and there's mistakes, I will cut from your salary. Okay? So this is again not empowerment, right? What we said, this factory, by the way, it is, I'm going to conclude, I see some of you getting tired. We're going to conclude this one. Well, this factory is made from hand weaving machines. You know them, right? Available in Rwanda, I've seen everything, right? So this hand weaving machine is, we asked how much is the cost for that. They said, for example, 1,000, 2,000. We know it's much higher than the reality, but we wanted to create a model very fast. We taken 5 of these machines, and the factory is full of these machines. The factory, by the way, is making lots of carpets, but they can't sell. Okay? So this is the problem of the factory. I told the factory we can make for you sell. We guarantee for you selling. Taking our technique, whatever we're going to produce from these 5 machines, we guarantee for you selling. Why? Because we are our know-how in packaging the thing and knowing where to sell it, in Radisson, in Europe, making a website, is much better than these people. Our skill, our knowledge of that area. Okay. What we did, we taken 5 of Mama Amina, distributed them back to their villages. What we guaranteed here, when Mama Amina goes to her village, family, stability, right? Okay, if I give you now, Jack, something you own, okay? Will you do the same mistakes that for something you don't own? No, because you own it. This is called, in English, what they call it, ownership. The feeling of ownership is high, okay? One of the requirements for Mama Amina is not given free. This is women development now, talking about holistic approach, right? Mama Amina, she go back, she have to train at least 10 women in the first year. Then this will be like open shop for training. She train and produce, and we give her some amount of money to buy the wool, beside the machine and so on, to start with the first thing. Then she have to run it itself. So Mama Amina became from a worker to entrepreneur. She became entrepreneur. Actually, I can call her social entrepreneur because what she's doing, she's not only producing, she's training others, which is another generation who can bring even better innovation in carpet because they, young girls now, they can see many things in the internet and they can imitate it and bring many ideas. So instead of having all the machines being available inside one factory and nobody can see this, these 5 villages became eco-tourism villages. People started to go, because what you go in desert, what you can see? You can't see anything. Desert for you is all the same. At least here you have hills, you have, right? There they don't have desert. So people visiting Rwanda, what they want to see? Want to see people who's doing weaving. They will teach them how to do weaving. Okay? Maybe they will cook for them some food, so they will eat there. They have to pay for that food. And this is what created this women development story. So we have 5 villages now. That they produce camel wool, carpets. These carpets are packaged. Very important, Jack, what I'm going to say here. Because you might produce, but you might not sell. So there is no sustainability. In order to sustain, you know how to sell. And one part of the selling is the marketing. Part of the marketing is the packaging. Part of the packaging, if you want to differentiate yourself, especially if you are a social entrepreneur, is that you have to put a story. So behind each carpet, if you flip the carpet, you'll see the picture of Mama Amina with her people and how much these people are poor and why you are buying that. And I told them, by the way, I hope this will not be a problem for me because I'm going to say this seriously. Never sell to the Arabs. Sell it only to the European. Why? Because the Arabs will put the carpet in the floor and they will come over it, no? They don't care, they don't care about that. But European, usually they put the carpet where? You've seen that in Germany, right? In the wall, right? And people usually will be proud. I bought this because I bought it not because for a purpose. And many people now, especially young generation by the way, okay? They are coming for a purpose. They are buying for a purpose. Yeah, the European that we've seen before, not European only, many countries, but I'm just saying example for European. It's not the European that they occupied our countries, hopefully, inshallah. Okay? They are now new mindset. They believe on reality, they believe on helping people and so on. So this is an example of how much we make a difference in women development if we know what to do. I know I don't want to go to the Bosnia example, but the outcome of such projects, we want to say a day. You remember what I said, visualize, doctor? Visualization, what I told you? To have a map of Rwanda Okay, and we are starting with that. We are having now project Musanzi. Hopefully, inshallah, we'll have project with this guy. He's insisting in certain projects, okay, for different regions also. Where we imagine we have different projects in the country. But the end of the story, to sustain this, and you have to present this to others. Through radio, through TV, social media. And this is what happened in Bosnia. The total change from people, they say, well, this is what happened to us. These people, they don't like us. Humanity don't like us. For that, we are dying to people. They started to talk about the positive stories, how much change is coming from the young people today to create a change in their community. This is the end story, actually, of any project that you want to bring, because the project means models. The models means that you are bringing opportunities, and you are creating a chain of, resources other than materialistic resources to create this dependency. See, our problem, ladies and gentlemen, my sons and daughters, most of you, okay, and we want always to bring solutions, but always look at the problem as what? Opportunity. So this is the mindset of women development. Okay, this is the mindset of women empowerment. Okay, if you want to shift to here, it means you have to be more curious. It means you have to be proactive, like Dr. Emmanuel was saying. Okay, and this doesn't come by coincidence. Either I will stay waiting for services from others, from government, from NGOs, or I start to raise my, what we call it in economics, return on capital employed. What means return on capital employed? Mean how much I put for the efforts, time, and so on, okay? Not only money, and what is the return? Okay? This is what makes a different story. And with minimal amounts, because you might make a change with millions of dollars, you might make a change with thousands of dollars. Okay? And this is what makes a difference in any story. This is where when we start to look at opportunity in a different way, we start to see that women start to be leaders in different countries, and this is where we say we need to think about what's the mindset of scarcity. The most important thing in women development is what? Avoid scarcity. What is the difference between scarcity and abundance? Anybody? Scarcity and abundance? Yes, Ali.
Scarcity means the resources are little, are scarce.
Yes.
And abundance means the resources are more and more. Many of them are not even used.
Yeah, but the mindset, when we talk about the mindset, okay, Dr. Manuel, want to say something?
The implication of scarcity is that the price goes high normally, and when it goes high, of course, it makes life hard.
Right.
But abundance also can trigger misuse of those resources. When there are too much things, also it loses value.
Yeah, this is the most dangerous definition, because this is a capital-based economy. Okay, احنا for us because this, by the way, what he's talking about is the basis of economics, capital-based economy. Capital-based economy is designed around scarcity. The more your product is scarce, the more the value is higher, right? احنا we believe there is no scarcity in the world. This is our school. Yes. We believe, and it's all about opportunities. And there are two types of opportunities. Seen, and no people is going to take it, or people take it before others, okay? This is fact of life, and hidden. Once we train women to be more development women, she will be seeing, not the seen opportunity, she will see the hidden opportunities. Like I did with the story of the carpet. This is hidden opportunity, isn't it, what I did? It's not a clear opportunity. I made from it a clear opportunity by moving her to another village instead of being in the factory, by investing in them, by making them, be entrepreneurs and so on. So if we move the mindset of scarcity, we start to see abundance and sustained inspiration. I start to see in the life so have so many opportunities. It depends on me to see these opportunities. This is not a theory. It became a theory today. But this is fact of life, but nobody has told you about it. Okay? Because if you come and see next now, we come to start by curiosity. This is our formula. We have formula in our program. This is one of the formulas, very important formula. by curiosity, by capacity to focus in a specific area, okay, you can increase your visualization. Once you increase your visualization, you can increase your well-being. Because people is not, by the way, how many people you've seen that are wealthy and they are happy, really? Not really. You know, many people are killing themselves or sometimes dying because of worrying about money or worrying about losing fame, including popular ones, influencers. They kill themselves. At the end of the day, some of them will go for drugs because they see that they lost something materialistic and so on. So what I wanted to tell you here, it will not come except if we have this cycle. Active participation in a model, focused, making a team, field visits, visiting every time the project that you are doing. Gamification means using games techniques that encourage people to continue to do change. Building networking, like Dr. Emmanuel taught us. Okay, surveying also always, and reflection. Okay, and you know we have the self-collective approach in that. This is what will bring for us opportunities. And these opportunities, by the way, to build this mindset, because I know it's very difficult for you to leave the theory that is Dr. Emmanuel told you. Our mind already, if someone I imitate Jack, it means I become his competitor. If it is very capitalist, like certain countries in Arab world or Singapore, if you imitate me, you become my enemy. That much capital-based economies people are driven with. But if you want to build your abundance mindset, and you want to help women, and you help yourself to be leaders in women development, you have to have these assets first. Okay? The last one I am going to mention is the most dangerous. The first one is the most available. First one is human capital. It's capital. Okay? It's capital. Your capacity. Nobody, by the way, is born not to be inspired. Okay? Nobody cheat you. I did a study, more than 100,000 people. My study discovered. I discovered those people with hardiness, those people who have trouble with their families, those people have an opportunity to work even as hard labor, those people who have managed to study maybe 2 languages or they practice like lifelong skills and so on, they become inspired also. So everybody becomes inspired, even if you lose your inspiration through school. By the way, you know the most dangerous place where you lose your inspiration? In school. You go to university, you lose more inspiration. You know why? Because they don't teach us according to this concept. They are telling us every day, if I don't get grade A, then I am dumb. So you can imagine, from I am young, they tell me you are dumb, you are dumb. So I believe what? I am dumb. Okay? Maybe I don't have the capacity to memorize like you. God has given us this capacity. The IQ is true, but very dangerous. He has more IQ than me. But doesn't mean that he can create an impact better than me. Okay? Always I tell people, you don't believe it. I know you not believe it. I am the least one of you that I have maybe IQ. But I have something here that you don't have. I wish you have. I go to countries that I don't speak their language. Even there is no mediator between me and them. Not even English. Okay? I risk to dare, even with my physical situation, I risk to dare to contact countries that maybe nobody visited. I risk to take with them risk to do a project. They might even, I was kidnapped one time. Okay? That much. Okay? But because I have this energy. Sorry, the spirit, not energy, the spirit. Your energy might be better. And this is where we need to know about ourselves. We are all inspired. Can you repeat after me? We are all inspired.
We are all inspired.
It depends on us now. Yes, depends on us how we can exploit this inspiration. It's within us. Okay? And this, for women development, is very important that we focus on our human capital. What does I have that the world needs? What does I have? Not to copy others, because now in capital-based economy, what we are doing, if someone is selling milk, and we see too many people coming for this guy to sell milk, so what will I do next day? Sell milk. But maybe I could have developed his idea and say, okay, I will deliver milk to the houses now, right? Instead of copying him. But because I am not inspired, Always I want to copy others. Okay? While you want others to copy you. We are meant to this world to inspire each other. The currency that we have and we are not using is not the dollar. For that we call it economy. The currency that we have is inspiration currency. But only we need to discover ourselves, give ourselves a chance. How can I discover myself, Dr. Buhajji? By listening? No. By doing. Only by doing I will discover myself and I will try to think in different ways. So the second one, which is Dr. Emmanuel taught us in this class, is about social capital. If I am in a village, it's better than when I take a city. What am I going to do? I will study the village, what they need, how can I develop them, how many girls are. Now, for example, they finish education, BSc, even sometimes masters, let alone high school or less, and they are sitting at home. How many? Too many. Okay, I know that boys also are the same thing. And this is available all over the world, so you can't change the, the world. But what you can do, you can use this for your opportunity. Okay, and then the natural capital. Rwanda, you are the richest, richer than Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. Nobody cheats you. These are all depleted resources. What we have, petrol is going to go, right? And the problem now, and our people, I myself, I don't know how, my parents used to go, my grandparents, used to go to die for bears, you know bears? Yeah, the bears, the woman necklace. Okay? Now I don't know how to do that. So if there is no petrol, what we do? No electricity, what we do? We are not trained. Okay? So train yourself to utilize your natural resources. Optimize your natural resources. See what is you have natural resources that they are abundant and nobody take care about them. Okay? How many, I didn't see many projects about ice cream here in this country. Okay, I like ice cream, for that I want to encourage that project. Okay? How many projects is about banana ice cream? None. Few, if there is, right? I didn't see, at least for now. Okay? So this is an example. How many bananas that I can take by in a best season, and then I can turn it, make a group of girls work together to create from it ice cream. Okay? Is this rocket science? No. But nobody's doing that. Okay? You have the sugar cane, right? How many of you drink? You can see sugar cane available, sold everywhere. I know in Sudan there is a lot, in Egypt, because they took it from Egypt, for example. Here, nobody is selling sugar cane juice, for example. While it is available, abundant, and so on. These all are projects that we are calling you to come and collaborate with us and think about how many people you're going to benefit, not for you. Because if we work only for yourself, then it is women empowerment. If you work to change your community through such small projects, then it is women development. This is the difference here. Okay? Then, the physical capital. Most physical capital is you. You have now, better than me, not only the energy, but the spirit. Actually, the spirit is supposed to be whatever I talk to you, to take danger, to take rest, to travel to different countries, to go to another village, to try something and fail. It's supposed to be, we call it yours economy. And we have these also, one of our brands. Why youth economy is different than inspiration economy and so on. And the last and the least for women development is financial capital. Don't keep it front. After you study this, if you want to analyze something, study this without this. So that you can eliminate the problem or eliminate what you want. So that when you take a loan or you do a project with someone, you don't ask for 10,000. You say 1,000 is more. I tell you, I'll give you 10,000. No, I don't want. I want only 1,000. Because I know that what I want to do. Because already I studied these other variables or other assets and so on. This is what's going to bring for us what we call women development. In Bahrain, we're working now on women advancement. It's finished also this. We are now renewing this one. Because we had women empowerment 10 years, we had women development 10 years, and now we'll talk about women advancement. What is the difference? And the woman is creating the new innovation to the country. Okay? How? By, for example, even though she's responsible for the house, and she's going back to the extended family, still she is creating a job creator. She's not a job seeker only. Okay, and she's utilizing this for her own her national people. Like for example, Bahrain used to have women entrepreneurs, but they bring workers from India and so on, but the national people are not working. So this is again an example of that. It is made from these five pillars. Okay, the first pillar is the most important pillar, family stability. Okay, I measure any woman she's doing development, how much she's participating, even if her husband is a drunk guy, bad guy, whatever you want to call him. Okay, still she can make family stability. Even if she divorced, still she can make family stability. Second thing is about equal opportunities. Okay, she knows what means equal opportunity. She optimizes that. Lifelong learner means she learns a lot. She makes sure that she practices quality of life. She puts it in her family, including the cooking. And we change the style of the cooking inside the families. They don't use a lot of oil. They use less oil so that they avoid, the problem that we have in our country. And these are based on the earlier pillars. So we are building on that. So empowerment is good, but it's not enough. Okay? If you want to create a change in your community, you want to leave a legacy, despite of your situation. Actually, I tell you, the more your situation is bad, the more it is going to bring more opportunities. Okay? The more you are relaxed, okay, the more you can see opportunities. Okay? But you dare to change, you dare to do projects, and even if you fail in general and so on. We wanted to have a group exercise, but I think it's no time for group exercise. I wanted to open just a session for question and answer. Okay, maybe we'll go for 10 minutes, question and answer. Maybe Librata and Dr. Emmanuel can come front here, and you can ask them any question before we conclude. Okay, go ahead. You can come here. If you have any question, any comments, please feel free. Yes, Jack, go ahead.
All right. My question is going to be based on the projects that you are encouraging women to take on. Right?
Can you raise your voice, please?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. My question is going to be based on the projects that the women should embark on doing. And you are focusing on Rwanda. Do you have other opportunities for other countries? Because we might have our women, our sisters around here who are passionate about making a change in our community, but they might not get any support from another person. So do you also encourage them, and in what way do you need to assist them?
Yeah, if it is for me as official, yes, of course. And as I told you, we are available in 27 countries today, and we did projects in 37 countries. So this is it will be very good opportunity, of course, if we find people who can do whatever we are talking about. See, by the way, we met many people, Jack, in life. I mean, just since 2015, since we started. But I can tell you, and many people talk. They don't like to do. Okay, unfortunately, many people, because our project is challenging, because we tell them, and you have to do, you bring idea, we challenge the idea, and then we challenge whether this will be done, and then when he start or she do it, we follow it up. We find many people, they drop in the way, or they don't start even. Even sometimes they take money, but they never start. Okay? It's not, see, change is the only constant in life. Do we agree on that? Right? The only thing that does not change is change itself. Okay? And if you believe in God, of course, God. Otherwise, everybody change. So, the most important thing is that we utilize this formula. Is that we need to change. If we don't change, we'll end up on the same status. You know Einstein what he said, right? Yeah. If you want a different product, you have to change your process. Okay? So yes, we are, of course I encourage that, if I understand your question. Okay, anybody else?
Question.
Yeah, you can ask them more.
You say that the mindset has 4 portions, and I would like to ask you, among the attitude and behavior, which one can you change? Like, can you change your behavior, or can you change your attitude?
You first have to change the attitude, yeah? Because the attitudes are the drivers of behavior. But sometimes to change is difficult, very difficult, and that is where many people mess up. Huh? Yeah, I also teach the behavior change and change management. It's a nice course actually. But when we talk about, for instance, the attitudes, yeah? For instance, a person is snobbish. Do you know a snobbish person? A snobbish person is someone who feels that poor people are like trash. He thinks he's very powerful and rich, and they think that poor people are like trash. So if you have that behavior, for instance, how will you change it? Is it in one?
This is attitude, not behavior.
Yeah, that's attitude. The attitude. If you have that attitude, they have to change. If you are lazy, for instance, and you don't respect, for instance, time, the school starts at 8 and you always wake up at 9, so that is an attitude you have of laziness, but which affects your behavior and then affect your career. Yeah? Or maybe you are drunk, yeah? You finish your bachelor's degree, but you like beer. So when they give you a position, at noon, instead of eating, you drink. This affects, of course, your life, right? And sometimes you are fired at work. You go. I know some people who failed to work, not because they failed to have a degree, but because they don't change their attitude. So what can you change first then? Back to your question. You don't have to change behavior. You change the attitude, and the change of the attitude brings you new behavior. You get the point?
Yes, I wanted to say something. See, the Japanese have very good techniques in changing attitude and behavior. Either one of them is good. Sometimes you change the behavior, or you change the attitude. Japanese, what they do, for example, when we go to any factory, I am Kaizen expert. It means one of the techniques they do called Kaizen. They take people first day. Can you imagine first day? We are asking the CEO of the company, which is maybe one of they produce cars, air conditioning, something. I tell him you have to come down. We brought you a mop to clean. Okay. Now the idea is what? Do we want to create for him humility? Yes, but indirect humility. Okay. So that he see. Even though that he's CEO and he knows everything about the company, there are many things he don't know. When he starts cleaning, or she starts cleaning, what will happen? They'll discover there are many things under the table, was hidden here, this was supposed to be working, but it's not working. Okay? So this is where people start to change. They know how much they don't know. And this will not happen unless with two. My life taught me, because I told you I'm an expert of failure, life taught me people, organization, governments does not change except either one of two. Okay? Of course, in the long term, we can change through education, but the lucky ones, not everyone. Education also can be a medium for change. Family can be a medium of change. Life experience can be a medium of change. But if you want to change people very quickly, it is either of two. Either you see a very good role model, and you start to imitate him or imitate her, or imitate the country itself, or you do. Take a project, you work on the project, you know how much you don't know, and you come out of there. The best entrepreneurs you see in life, and maybe they become influencers later, including Elon Musk, is what? He's entrepreneurial failure. He came through failure to know what he wants. And he started to visualize how much he can impact the world through knowing what he wants. Every day he's a good learner. These people who's influencing us, they are learning from us, or through us or with us. Okay? So don't take it for granted, and it will come by reading, or I want to change myself, or you go to meditation class, or yoga class. No, it doesn't change you. Change your mindset, and this, you have to change it through the field. Okay? The best expert for you is not us. Not your even, sometimes even with all the respect to your parents. The best expert is the field. The field is the reality of life. Okay? Yeah.
But for instance, in regards to our topic for empowerment, for instance, in order to change the behavior of women, for instance, in rural areas, for instance, most of the NGOs start by teaching them, raising up their awareness. Are you aware that when you raise up a kid nicely and bring him to school, will bear fruits? That's an example. Then he or she will start sacrificing her time or his time and money to pay for school fees of the kids. It is not because that he doesn't have money or she doesn't have money, but because she is not aware of what she can do. So most of the NGOs do that. They go to the rural area, start to teach women the human rights, the wealth creation, business creation. It changed their attitude. But also sometimes I will tell you something that you are not used to, but also praying can change you. Praying God can change you. Yeah? One day Jesus was asked by the people, how can we do to change? And he says, okay, maybe you start by robbing your neighbor, or maybe you start by praying, because he said there are some demons that can be only chased by praying. Did you know that? There are demons that can only change you only by praying, and by praying by fasting actually. Do you know how is fasting?
Yeah.
Fasting. Most of Christians or Muslims do that. When you fast, you bring in determination, change. If you are, for instance, it happens to be a prostitute. It happens. You don't control your sexual desires or libidos. It happens. It can happen. Or maybe you are drunk. You always like alcohol, taking. Or you take cocaine, you know, and it has driven you. So how can you change them? Sometimes you can start praying, fasting. Praying, fasting. If you fast 2 days a week or 1 day a week, then after 5 months, you can get. If you hate your neighbors, for instance, you hate them because you conflicted with them about land, to change the attitude so that you can start to love them and like them, sometimes require extra forces, which is also a mental change, the attitude. If you are conflicted with you, for instance, and say, okay, we conflicted on land division, maybe 5 acres, and people can kill each other due to 1 acre of land. So how can you change it? Sometimes it requires social inclusion, social and also mindset change, but also looking at the new vision. He called it vision. You have to visualize things in another way. How can I get conflict into opportunity? And that is where people mess up. Can you be driven by conflict like what happened in our country? Or you can change the conflict into positive aspect. We call it in conflict analysis a transformation, or maybe, yes, conflict transformation. You have been quarreling with your brother or your wife or your husband, but there are opportunities in that quarrels than challenges. You can always create something new inside it. But this is a hard question. Thank you for what do you study actually in university?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering. Very interesting. Very interesting. And how can you change in postmodernism? They criticize most of Africans that we still do it under the structures of Western. Yeah? And say, why don't you do it under your styles also? Some postmodernist scholars are saying that. Then how can you bring a hat into a modern hat? Yeah? That's a change vision of the current structure you find in the books, and you find in the model of culture, for instance, and you mix them up.
Instead of using blocks,
yes,
now cement, you can still use the mud, which is better,
yes,
and to give a cooler,
yes,
cooler environment and so on. Maintain the environment.
It requires some time. Change the vision, visualizing a new things in another mode. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Thank you. I would like first to appreciate for organizing this event, Women Empowerment Development Workshop, and inviting us. So we've been asked to go out back in our society, at school, and share with the fellow ladies, women, what we've learned, so that we can change them. But there's this challenge where you find most of them with gender ignorance. You see that she's living in not in a good condition, but when you try to talk to her, she says, I'm comfortable with it. Why do you care? Leave me alone. So how do you overcome that challenge so that when we meet it, we also will see?
Thank you. Okay, the comment.
Come again.
Okay, let me, I'll answer and I'll explain what she's asking. How can we change people if they are saying we don't want to change? And, you know, especially, we know their condition is not good and so on. So, see, we humans, we like to copy each other. And we like to, you know, our curiosity raise when we see people maybe similar to us or lower than us, they do something better than us, outcome. I'm sure this woman, there is lots of women like her, whatever her condition. Okay? And I believe, if you believe that such type of woman is, this is my answer to you, such type of women, they are resistant to change, then you will try to do a project with similar, you know, conditioned women or with even lower conditioned women. Okay? And remember, by the way, when we change people, are we changing them or we are changing ourselves? The thing that I want to, if we come out of this workshop with one thing, if you want to change, you have to strive to change others. While you are changing others, you are going to change yourself. Okay? Because if you don't change yourself and try to change others, the outcome is very bad. There will not be outcome. Even in Christianity and the Holy Quran, you know, in Islam also we say same thing as Christianity, is that you can't change people unless you change yourself. So while you are changing people, doesn't mean that you change yourself, means going for education, being perfect. Nobody can be perfect. All of us, as humans, is full of sins. Nobody is pure 100%, except those who come from God, or the you know, angels, or you know, prophets. And now we know that prophets mostly finished now. We don't have more prophets. Okay? So let's not to claim, you know, we are perfect. But what we are trying to do, when we are trying to change others, we are trying to perfect ourselves better. Through humility. Through humility. Through humility. I repeat it for you. Because humility helps you to be humble. And by the way, humbleness is not how I dress. Okay? Humbleness, it's here and here. Many people, they see them that, oh, they are rich people, but they are humble. But they are here, stubborn. They don't want to change their mindset. They don't want people to tell them, oh, you have changed. Why, when they tell me you have changed, it means that something positive, not negative. Okay? Yeah.
Another thing, as he said, to be role model, if you want to change others, but also as women, you can see other women who have the same ambition to empower women, and you work together. And also, you have to try, because you know, for change, it is better that there is, as you have seen, a supportive environment. You have to know how to do advocacy. Advocacy for changing policies and law. Because if there is no favorable law or policy, it is not easy to change. For example, I don't know the situation in your country, but maybe the women don't have access to the land. If you want that the women are economically empowered, it means that they must have access to the land, to have equal access, and also on utilization of that land.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I want to add something. Nowadays, very practical globally. There are two things that have been used to change people globally. For instance, during colonial period, some colonial powers were forced to change the people they meet on the ground. Sometimes by using peaceful means, sometimes violence. I cannot hide you this, it happens also. So people sometimes who resist change, they get beaten. Yeah, so, yeah, they can get beaten. Yeah, it's not a lie. Yeah. In Rwanda, for instance, the current unity government said, well, every Rwandan have to wear shoes, yeah? Yes. Traditionally, Rwandans were not used to wear shoes, a pair of shoes. Yeah? And I said, okay, everybody in the street should put on shoes. If you don't have shoes, you are arrested maybe 20 minutes with readers and asking you, why are you not putting shoes? Yeah? Gradual change, you mix up changes. Yeah? At school, the teacher starts to tell children, okay, come next day with shoes. Yes, that's a direct change. But sometimes we're using power. Yeah? Don't be scared if you see some people facing some violence to be accepted to change, to accept change. That's what happens actually. Our brothers and sisters in South Sudan have said they have violently changed the status quo by fighting. Yeah? Sometimes. Fighting for rights sometimes. And sometimes change brings victims also. For American society to stop slavery, they have been fighting, using sometimes justice. Yeah? If you don't free your slaves, you put you in jail. Yeah, for a long time. You see? And some people can resist that. Okay, they still have slaves in their farms, and then the government say, okay, arrest them, bring them safe or dead. That's an example of hard change. But there is what we call assimilation. I'm writing a paper that I have submitted for Paragraph Macmillan publication this month. It talks about indigenous approach of change. I'm taking the case of the Philippines as a case study. In Mindanao is part of the Philippine island, and there is resistance of indigenous. They say, okay, we are communist and you are capitalist. So the government is pro-capitalist, liberal capitalist, but the indigenous people are still having a communist mindset. We will not give you land for it is a community land. And then the investor needs private land for exploitation of gold, for instance. That's a conflict, and people sometimes die in those. But indirectly, a model which is used nowadays to change people in a good way is a cultural pluralism. Cultural pluralism is going step by step. How can we include your values in our? If you are a potter, how can you bring the value of pottery in our system of life? That is what Doctor was saying. A German or a French person can come in Mauritania and buy carpet not for use, but for ornament. Different aspect. So he can come and buy that. Anyway, very few in Rwanda can buy that. Yeah? That ornament. Because
It's very expensive.
not expensive, it's not a culture. How can I buy something, put in my house, which is sometimes useless? I can buy useless in another way anyway. No?
Okay, Victor, we need to close now. People
Yes.
are getting tired.
Yeah. But in a way that's inclusive, giving value to something. And if a German buy a carpet from Mauritania, it is sometimes inclusive approach. A cultural pluralism. He wants that woman to be also part of life, yeah? Production to be part of his life as a German, for instance. And to give money indirectly in inclusive manner. Inclusiveness. When you want people to change, when they resist, you include them in the system sometimes. They become owners and proactive in another way. Thank you. I think, sorry for that.
Okay, anyone need to close?
Yeah.
Last question. Then later we can network after we do.
Yes.
Yes, please. I think here, Victor.
Thank you very much. We talked a lot about women's empowerment, women's development. But what do you think can women's engagement throughout the journey?
Men's engagement.
Yes.
Well,
And so that no one, either men or women, boys or girls, no one is left behind again.
Yes, no one can not left behind. We talk women empowerment and women development because you know that since the past the women were left behind. It is somehow how we can engage also women, because men also are engaged, and there are other programs that engage also men.
Yes. Yeah, there is now, to support his answer, now program of men engaged now. This is an NGO. Some of the leaders have been my students. Men engaged. Anyone knows it? Do you know it? Can you tell us about it, Toby? Some of the key leaders have been my students at university.
Men Engage is a program. I know Men Engage through Bamrek.
Bamrek,
You know me, I'm a member of Benimwe. Benimwe also has implemented Men Engage. Men Engage has the purpose of using positive masculinity in the families.
Yes, positive masculinity.
The purpose also is to solve the family conflict by elimination of gender-based violence.
Yes.
And the other.
What you had in Rwanda is the growth of GBV. GBV is gender-based violence. In the last 15 years in Rwanda it was high. And we had to make a lot of conference on stopping GBV. And one of the results was the starting initiation of Men Engage. Yeah? Men Engage is a big program and mostly composed by the youth, women. And they teach men to be proactive in gender equality and equity. Yeah, yeah. Because women cannot have full rights if their brothers are not complying. It's not possible. What is masculinity? Positive masculinity. Yeah? Positive masculinity. What can you go ahead and explain positive masculinity? Yeah?
When we talk about the positive masculinity,
Yes.
you know, for example, in Rwanda, the cut of there is the cut of patriarchy. If you say patriarchy, it means that the men have the opportunities or the advantages which can help them. So the man has some powers they can use over the women, such as in the family, the father is the chief of the family, they are the decision makers. This gives them the opportunity to be the leader in the family. But if they use that opportunity equally and share with their wife, there will be a big change in the family.
Yes. Thank you very much. Masculinity means what? It's an attitude, as you know. Masculinity, some women in Rwanda, we call them Yushegao. Yushegao means they are women but with masculinity. So masculinity is